All right. My bad. If y'all watching the video quality, I had to, or you watching the video podcast, I had to kind of switch something up real quick. And if you listen to the audio, I'm starting back where I was. But I was on the topic of the top 5 remixes of our generation. And like when you listen to these songs, they put you back in a certain type of place or a certain time in your life. And the list I came up with was this. So I got "I'm So Hood" remix at number 5 because you had the Wayne and you had the Luda. Um, at that time, I was still a huge Luda fan, and I was always arguing that Luda could wash Wayne, and he stood on his own. So I got to put that in number 5. Number 4, I'm low key debating with this one because I don't know if I want to do the Lollipop remix or I want to do the Pop Lock Drop It remix. Now I listened to this the other day. Bow Wow had a good verse. Huey had a good verse, but T Pain had the verse. And when he came on that track and he was just like bruh, dog, it's and then he was on the two-step remix, the two-step remix, the Pop Lock and Drop It remix. Like he killed both remixes. But I just for some reason I like the two-step remix and I like the Pop Lock and Drop It, but I don't know if I want to do Lollipop or Pop Lock and Drop It in this spot right here. So I got Lollipop, but I'm thinking about moving Lollipop to honorable mention because we really like Lollipop because of one line that Wayne said about the if you get that late text, then I think I'm late text. You know what I'm saying? Some shit like that. And then the fact that Kanye came in and was like, "You not about to kill me like you did everybody else in this song." But overall, like, it wasn't just like, it takes you back to a certain moment, but I don't think it's the best top 5 remix. So y'all tell me what y'all think about that. And then I got for number 3, and I know a lot of people might move this up the list, but it's because these first 2 remixes I got, it gotta fall at number 3. The Shawty Low They Know remix. And you got another verse from Luda and Wayne. Now, I know a lot of people gonna say, "Nah, bro, this should be number 1." Or y'all probably gonna move it up your list a little bit. It's probably gonna be further to the top of the list. And don't get me wrong, I like They Know. I think They Know remix is probably one of the best remixes that came out during that time period. And it automatically takes you back to when it first came out. You know what I'm saying? And the Lil Wayne, what I look like, and if it ain't money, then I don't look right. And that don't sound right. I swear, you can get a full clip, not a sound bite. Suwu gang. That bro, that was that was a verse, bruh. The dance they had to it, the beat was clean. Just the overall time period of it was like that was the time for remixes, bruh. Like you don't understand. If you a Gen Z and you wasn't born, or if you just now starting to develop a love for rap music or hip hop and you wasn't around during that time, like bro, it just bring back memories, dog. I can't even tell you. I can't even put it into words. All right, so number 2. Now both of these are gonna be R&B songs. Number 2, I got Mario featuring Wayne, "Crying Out for Me." Bruh, Wayne's verse on this song is probably one of the best on a remix. And of course he freestyled it, but it's just you cannot argue that song. For one, the song was already good by itself. Then you on the bus riding to school one morning, and then you all of a sudden hear the beat come on again, but now this time you just hear Wayne coming on. And you hear Wayne like, I met this shawty the other day. I got her number, called her up. Like, what you doing? She said nothing. I say, what's up? She said, what's up? I say, what's up? I say, what's up? I said, I think we should hook up. They said, what? I said, what? I said, huh? Like, man, come on, bro. Come on, bro. There's no way that you cannot put this song in the top 5 remixes of our generation, right? And then number 1, and I don't care what y'all think. Number 1, I've got Same Girl remix with R. Kelly, Usher, and T-Pain. And T-Pain came through with one of the cleanest verses on a remix I have ever heard. On top of the fact that R. Kelly just cut smooth up on this song. But the verse that T-Pain came through with, hi, my name is Teddy. Unfortunately, y'all don't know me, but y'all was seeing what, or I couldn't overhear, but overhear what y'all was saying about TTC. I know her too. Obviously, so do you. So I'm gonna in this conversation too. Do she got a crib by the Waffle House? Do you say that thing that she be doing with her mouth? She know how to cock them legs back. The greatest sex in your life. Now this the killer part. Yeah, I know, cause she my wife. Wait a minute, hold on, dog. Nigga, I ain't no hold on back up. Y'all niggas gonna make me act up. I'm out here busting my ass for her to run and turn her back up. And you just can't tell me that you didn't see that ring on her finger. I'm even trying to help her be a singer. That's why she was at that party in it. Oh, and I told her I to go out to Chicago. When I'm out here doing my thing and tell her, I say, y'all out here treat my wife like a stranger. I can't believe this shit. Can't believe this shit. Everything. Man, come on, bruh. Bruh, they just don't make remixes no more. What happened? What happened to the remixes? Lord have mercy. And if you see this T-Pain, I know you probably don't know little old me, man, but I'm a fan, bro. I'm a fan, bro. You put your first album out on my birthday in 2005. What else can I say, bro? And it's like, bro, if you want to talk about the remix era, the top 2 artists that pretty much made remixes a thing, T-Pain, Lil Wayne. And then you got R. Kelly, which call himself the Pied Piper or remix killer or whatever he call himself. But between Lil Wayne and between T-Pain, that era was just fully. It's nothing you could have said, nothing you could do, nothing you could tell me to change my opinion on the fact that those are the best remix artists of all time. But that's not what we arguing today. Right now, we arguing the top 5 remixes of our generation all time. I stand on my list. And a couple of honorable mentions. Like I said, I think I may possibly put Lollipop in an honorable mention. I had Put On for My City remix, another Kanye verse, but he killed it, but it just don't compete with these. I had Cuddy Buddy remix, top 5. I had to put that in honorable mention as well. It's not bad that they in the honorable mention. They just probably fall 6, 7, and whatever. You also got the Top Back remix, and if they would have included Lil Wayne's verse off of the dedication, the Drought 3, we may have another battle. And then you got I'm in Love with a Streeper remix with T-Pain and R. Kelly. And I'm gonna go ahead and put this out here because I know it's not gonna really be a popular conversation. It's not going to be a popular debate, right? R. Kelly and T-Pain on remixes are neck and neck. I know the black community is gonna be like, bro, what is you talking about, nigga? R. Kelly, oh la 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 la. Nah, nigga, go listen to the Same Girl remix. T-Pain literally came in and he lyrically cursed out Usher and R. Kelly on this song. And he made it seem realistic that the girl that they was talking to was also married and she was out here on that bullshit. And T-Pain did that. I don't know if no other artist could have came in and did that and made that song better the way it was. Cause the song was already good. And then you go to I'm in Love with a Stripper in the remix, and R. Kelly got a verse on there too. But you gotta think about like T-Pain made who else made the song I'm in Love with a Stripper? Who else bringing you to the strip club? Like I said, I'm a T-Pain fan, I'm a Bryson Tiller fan, I'm a Kanye fan, I'm an R. Kelly fan. But when it comes to this conversation, T-Pain does not get the credit that's deserved. He does not get the credit he is due, and I do not appreciate it. And if you see this video, like I said, just know I give it up to you. I give it up to you because I see your creative genius. I see what you're able to do, and I appreciate it. So if you feel otherwise, like I said, comment on the video, hit up the podcast, hit up the email at 90babytheory@aol.com. Let me know how you feel because that's my top 5 remixes. And I'm sure it's gonna change. I'm sure everybody gonna have their opinion based on where you live, where you stay, where you from. You got remixes of certain songs that's from that area and stuff like that. But top 5 overall, that's what I'm going with. All right. All right. So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and get into our topic of the day, which I really like this topic because this is one that I put out there, and I pretty much got some answers or some feedback from it. But this I feel like this is gonna be a good topic to end us off on week 3. All right. So I put a post up last week around the same time that I put out episode 2, and I just put out a post because I kind of wanted to get some interaction and I wanted to get some feedback and I wanted to get some opinions from people, old, young, people that mess with me, people that might not, people that just want to see the post. Like I tried to get as much feedback as possible for this topic. And I think it's very fitting for a 90s baby, right? So the post that I made was, what is something you would go back and tell your younger self pretty much from the age of like from your teenage to your early 20s. So it could be any time within that span. What's something you would go back and tell your younger self from your teens to your early 20s? Now, I got a few different topics, a few different responses, but one of my friends that I went to grade school with in Mississippi a long time ago, she actually made a video or a response to the question. uh she didn't even tag me or anything. I just so happened to saw it, and she put hashtag the 90 Baby Theory podcast or the 90s Baby Theory. And I appreciated her for doing it. And I asked her, what I'm saying, would she allow me to do it, allow me to put it on the podcast. And she said, of course. So uh shout out to homegirl Candace, married now, kids. Uh she doing her big one. But let me let y'all hear her version of what she's saying. She did a pretty long video, but I just want to give y'all a kind of example of what she said in her video. So let's go.
So, um, one of my friends asked a question on social media and was like, if you could go back in time and tell something to yourself, say something to yourself, like to yourself in your early 20s, you know, what would you say to yourself? And I've been thinking about that for like a couple of days, maybe even a week. I don't know. I don't even know when they posted it. But I was thinking about that. And you want to know what I would say? I would go back and tell myself, You are not ugly. You're not fat. If I could go back on myself and tell myself that, that's my sister. But if I could go back and tell myself that, I would. You are not fat. Okay. Even when you got to this size, I want this body back. You are not ugly. Look at the face. Now I
Or
know I look raggedy right now, but you're not ugly. There's nothing wrong with your hair.
all right.
Nothing. Now I know all my life people have said, "Oh, you have beautiful hair." I never believed them because I've always had such a hard time doing my hair.
So
Like I don't still don't
that
know how to.
that pretty much is just sums it up kind of what the video is about. Like I said, I appreciate her for responding to the question or just like taking it upon herself to do a video. Like that's something that I want more people to be able to do. And I want to be able to have like these type of conversations because like I don't want my podcast just to be about me. Like I want to just be able to talk about stuff like I think we all deal with feel like, you know, somehow, some way, some form, some shape, go through shit. So, but I appreciate her for doing that. Uh, and I want to start off with her video before I gave something that I would tell myself from my teens to my 20s. And pretty much responding to her video is like something that I feel like all of us at some excuse me, I feel like all of us at some point in our life have had to go through this. Feeling like you were, ugly, may not have looked a certain type of way or may have had to deal with the fact of like the thief of joy of comparing yourself to other people, what you look like and what other people look like, and even like some people telling you stuff like, I'm a big dude. I've been a big dude all my life for the most part. And that is not only just size, but just like height, shoe size, height, neck size, a football player. Like, so for the average people, average folks that I grew up with, you know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all is 5'8", 5'9", 5'7", some people 6 feet or whatever. But I used to look at myself and sometimes hear people say, like, oh, you big, you fat, you whatever, you such and such, you whoop de whoop whoop, right? I go back and I look at those pictures now and I see what I was. There was nothing wrong with me. There was nothing wrong, and there's nothing wrong with me now. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I think it's just like a lot of people just can't necessarily deal with the fact of like everybody's different. Nobody looks alike. Nobody looks the same. Nobody's supposed to look the same. And if you let other people's image and the image of other people influence you and make you feel less than and make you think that you're less than, then that will be something that you have that has an effect on you all the way up into your adulthood. You gotta think about it. It's a lot of people like that deal with that all the way through from grade school to high school, where it starts to get worse because you gotta think about the popularity situation, I can't buy these type of clothes, I can't have this type of fit, I don't have these type of shoes, I don't fit in with that crowd. And like you deal with that, right? That's real. That's realism. You know what I'm saying? That's a real situation, a real topic. And for her to be able to voice that and acknowledge that as a, you know what I'm saying, an older woman or older now compared to what she was in the time, and be vulnerable and be able to be open with that and accept the fact that like there was nothing wrong with me and I chose to down myself and think something was wrong with me. And as I got older and I realized like I'm beautiful, I'm good with what I am, I feel like I commend that. You understand what I'm saying? And I feel like that's the same with a lot of people, especially dark skinned people. Like I see it all the time. People say like, they used to call me black, they used to call me chocolate, they used to call me charcoal, they used to call me midnight and all that shit. And now these days, all I see is oh, I want a chocolate man. Oh, I want a dark chocolate girl. Oh, I want the darker the darker the berry, the sweeter the juice. Right? People just grow up, man. You get older and you realize like some of that shit is superficial. And I'm not a superficial person. So I definitely appreciate that response. I appreciate that because we all go through that in some shape or form. And if you listening to this right? If you're listening to this or if you even watching the video, I just want you to know something. You enough. You are enough. Don't let nobody tell you or let nobody make you feel that you are less than, right? I came from an era where like we joked on each other, we made jokes about each other. People joked on people's weight, skin, hair, whatever, right? But at the end of the day, I see some of them same people I went to school with and I joked with and I talked about, and like we all doing well for the most part. And a lot of times, like you can take jokes, and then jokes can also become like what you believe, and you let it make you have a certain image about yourself and an outlook about yourself. Just know you enough. You don't have to have the latest clothes. You don't have to have you don't have to have what everybody else have because you don't have to be like everybody else. That's a big situation, bro. That's a big topic, and I like I said, I appreciate her for having that input, having that, you know what I'm saying, vulnerability, or just having the bravery to be able to even speak on it on her own platform or social media, because it's, you know what I'm saying, it's something that I know a lot of people deal with. So salute to you, Ken. Uh, and then let me go to some of the other comments that I saw inside of the post. So, you know, some people, you know, like I said, she did a video, she did the audio, the video that y'all just heard. But I had other friends and other people that I like, or other people that I mess with that also left um different feedback. So my other homegirl, Bree, been knowing her since 2005, since Katrina. She's in the military. She doing well. Like I said, that's one of the examples I'm talking about. She said, I would say not to take everything done to me so personally. Sometimes people's actions hurt you indirectly when it may have not been their intention. And she added on, don't expect you from others. I told her I had to learn that the hard way, right? Because when you young, bro, I told my mama this one time. I said, I think when you young and they teach you like how to be respectful, how to treat other people, how to grow up, and how to be a certain type of way, they fail to realize, or they fail to teach you sometimes, that that's not going to be the way that the real world is like. And if you come out here naive and you come up and you grow up and you think that everybody's going to have your best interests at heart, your best intentions at heart, treat you how you treat them, do shit for them that you do for, do stuff for you that you do for them, you will fall victim to the belief of that. And I told my mom, I was like, man, when I have my kids, I'm gonna make sure that I let them know the real of not accepting and not expecting people to just always treat them like the way that school teaches you people should treat you. Or, like on Valentine's Day, everybody bring kids and candy and cars and stuff to school. And that's okay for school. But then when you get on the real world and you grow, you know what I'm saying, you go to work and you realize, oh, Tisha over there didn't get no flowers. She ain't get no card. She ain't get no candy. And nobody bring her nothing. And nobody's gonna have to bring you anything. In school, they make you think that everybody's just gotta be nice to you and whatever. And you just realize like that's not the case in the real world. So, and like what she said was like, uh not taking everything done to you so personally. I'm still working on that, right? Cause I think like when you are a person that does things based off of like, how can I say it? You do things based out of like your morals, that if don't nobody do it in return, you do feel some type of way about it. And that's because like that's just who you are at the core. That's who you are as a person. So like if don't nobody treat you the same way that you treat, you know what I'm saying, that you do for them, you gonna feel some type of way. But it's just, I think growing up and understanding like sometimes people just don't really know what they be doing. Sometimes people just don't understand like what they did unless you communicate with them. And I think that's another part of growing up. Um, just that part. And then to that she said, but without those lessons, we wouldn't be where we are now. And it wouldn't have hurt to known them earlier. It would have put a stop to certain friendships and relationships. And I, like I said, I feel like that's definitely true, because you start to realize that you learn who's for you, who's not for you. You learn how to separate yourself from the bullshit, and that just come with growth, that come with time, that come with experience. Uh, Another homegirl, Shamir, we went to school together. Good people, man. She said so many things. Work on your credit early. Don't get into long relationships in your 20s so you can learn yourself more and get your own place as a youngster. And I was playing around with it, and I told her that long relationship in your 20s part, go a little deeper because I can't relate. And we were just saying, like, because I've been in my relationship since high school. This is my high school sweetheart that I'm married to. But for the most part, that is a topic that a lot of people saying, like, everybody not as benefit, everybody don't benefit from the fact of being in a long relationship like me and my wife, right? But what I do want to tell everybody is that that shit not easy, right? I know everybody see the glitz and the glamour and the fairy tale story that they think it is, but just know, like, when you in a relationship, bro, and you in a relationship for an extended period of time, and I kind of touched on this last week, but just know that shit is not easy. It's not cakes and roses all the time. You gotta fight for it. You gotta want it, and you got to also be selfishless, right? Because you also have to think about the other person, and you have to think about what you do and how it affect them and how it make them feel. So just think about going through that all the way through your high school years to your adult years to your grown age. And this is a person that you've been with for this long, this certain amount of time. That should take a lot of work. It take a lot of like consistency, or it take a lot of like I said, selflessness. And that's something that you probably won't be able to do, or most people not able to do from like a teenage to a young adult age, because you should focus on you. You should care about you, right? I'm not even gonna sit here and act like you shouldn't take time to learn about you. Some people are able to multitask. Some people can grow with other people and take you along the journey with them, right? Which I think in most cases for people that have a high school sweetheart, high school relationship, you have a choice whether you wanna stay in it or not, or whether you wanna do something else, or whatever. But for the most part, like, it's because you able to still live your life. You still able to do things. She plays sports. I played sports. I was in clubs. She was in clubs. Like, you had stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have your own lives essentially, but y'all just kind of just grow together and it just go where it take you. You don't have to let a relationship stop you. But I do understand being having to sometimes be able to focus on yourself because a lot of people can't do both, right? But I understood where she was coming from. My homeboy Eddie, another person I've been knowing since 2005. Uh, don't take everything so personal. He also said your parents are human and they make mistakes. Um, that's another one, right? When you young, especially for us black males, um, you might see your mother in a certain light, you see your parents in a certain light, you see your grandparents in a certain light, but you also realize that life don't come with an instruction manual, right? And sometimes you wonder, why did they do this, or why did this relationship not work out, or why did my mom do this, or why my dad did this, or why my people did this. But then you start to realize, like, they were living just like how I'm living, because I'm just turned 30 and I'm making mistakes and I'm fucking up and I'm doing stuff too at the same time, and realizing, like, oh, right, sometimes shit just happens, and you got to give grace to them, and you got to allow them to, you have to learn from your life that, okay, they didn't have the same resources, they might have not had the same situation either. So you know that's what happens, bro. And I think that was a valid point to touch on. um what else we got? Don't take everything, another one, don't take everything so personal. Like I said, just learning, like, just learning that sometimes people do what they do because that's what they are. And like I said, I think that's a very important part of teaching kids, or making sure that they understand, like, everybody's not gonna do what you do. Everybody's not gonna be who you are, respond how you are, how you respond, treat you the way you respond, nothing like that. So understanding like not to take it personal, and it is what it is sometimes, that'll get you through a lot of them days where you focus on the failures. You focus on the stuff that don't go right. Um, I got a response from my mom. She said, "Actually, actions definitely speak louder than words. There are very few genuine people in this world while you are young and as you age." Pretty much saying that you, like I said, you grow, you learn that people are who they are. They do what they do. I would much rather you show me than to tell me, right? You say you love me, you call me bro, you call me sis, or whatever the case is for you. You say you family, you say we love each other, you say all these things. I hear you, but your actions show me what you feel, and what you do show me how you feel. Sometimes it's the things you don't realize that you did that at some point they show your true colors. And my mom is in her 60s, and I'm sure she's experienced this with different relationships, different friends, different people, different family members or whatever. Like, you know, genuine people, authentic people, real people come at a very, very, very slow rate, a very, very slow rate. When you get them people in your life, man, you gotta cherish them and acknowledge them for what they do and give them their flowers. And that's what I would say. Who else? Who else? Who else? My homeboy Jordan. I got 2 Jordans on here. One of them that I just recently met at a previous job within the last 3 years. He said, "Work more and worry less." And I told him, I said, for some it could work less. They would say work less, enjoy more, and worry less. And he said, "True, but the younger me would have worked harder and would have prevented me from overworking as I do now." And I asked him, I said, "So do you feel behind in a way?" Uh, he said, "I wouldn't say behind because there's no handbook for life, like I just said, and would say some of my poor decisions held me from where I truly could be." And I think that's just your 20s. That's your 20s in general. Like, and that's another thing. People say when you are like in your 30s, that's when you really start living. I can fully attest to this. Because I know for a good portion of my time in my 20s, I kinda felt depressed. A lot of people don't know it. I never told nobody, I never said nothing, but, like, I felt depressed in my 20s because, like, coming out of high school, you got teachers, all they do is tell you, like, "Oh my god, Marcus, you're so smart, you're a leader, you should be such and such, and I can't wait till you go to college," right? And then nobody after that, nobody ever says anything else. Nobody doesn't push trade school. Nobody doesn't see what my options are. Nobody asks me what my interests are. Nobody tries to push me in a creative direction. I had a few teachers that were like really focused on me, and one of them left my school. But for the most part, like when you're strong and you're like a good student, you got good grades, and people just assume you're gonna go to college. When that route don't work out, it can be depressing, bro, because you realize like I'm just out here in the workforce. I don't really have no interest in doing nothing like what they thought I was gonna do. And then you be like, man, what can I do? Because I gotta make some money. And then I still got goals and visions for myself. Like I wanna be, I remember I used to always write on the paper. Every time they ask me, what do you see yourself in 5 years? What do you see yourself when you go out? It used to be a male nurse moving to Atlanta, married with kids and living comfortable. That was always what I wrote on the paper. And the career changed. I'm not in the medical field at all. I'm living a somewhat comfortable life. I am married, but I do not live in Atlanta. I live in Louisiana. That still could happen. I don't know if we gonna stay here forever, but as of now, I've kind of started developing that course of being on that page, but it took my entire 20s to learn and fail and deal with shit before I got there. So it's like when you get out of high school, you start to thinking that like you gonna eventually at some point get to that, and you don't know when. But you gotta realize, like, your entire time from the time you graduate to the time you probably hit 30, you're gonna go through transitions of changing, just changing as a person, mentally, physically, like spiritually, financially, everything. And that's just what it is, man. Um, the other Jordan, been knowing him since like 2005. It's a lot of these people that's been around in the picture for a while. Um, he said, "Slow down," and I told him, "You gotta expound on it a little bit. You gotta. I need you to go deeper. I need you to pretty much say what you're trying to say." He said, "Half the time I was moving too fast to get from place to place. The other half I was moving too fast in my mind, wanting to achieve more, wanting to be older. I basically rushed from true joy right into limited joy. Adulthood bring more obstacles, takes more energy. Being young is a superpower you can gain the wisdom and lifestyle as you live anyway. So you might as well slow down." Right? That's the truest. I put the fire emoji. I put the Lil Wayne. You know what I'm saying? Looking at him a certain type of way because, bro, what he said pretty much summed up. It sums up a lot of people in their 20s or a lot of young teens waiting to be grown, and you think you got it figured out, and you got this vision or this picture of what life gonna be like, and then you get out here and you realize, bro, I wish I would have took my time. I wish I would have accepted the fact that I was young, accepted the fact that I ain't know shit, but took that and just learned. Just continuously, and I'm not saying I didn't learn. I'm not saying you don't learn. But what I'm saying is, like, you be so ready to get that first apartment, so ready to get that car and get that whatever and get that job and get to that fast money, whatever, bro. And you don't realize why you doing that. Time steady ticking, time steady ticking, and you just losing the true value of your 20s. And now you look back and it's like, damn, my entire 20s is gone. That's a decade of my life gone. And then, like, some of the hardships that you deal with, and some of the shit you wish you would have knew, some of the shit you wish you just would have took your time and focus on what you really wanted. Sometimes, bro, it's like you just wish you just would have slowed down. I think that's the realest shit he said. And, like, not even just slowing down physically, bro, just slow down mentally. Allow yourself, or I wish I would have allowed myself sometimes to feel what I was feeling, right? Like, be depressed or be sad, but don't let nobody make me feel like I can't feel that way because I'm a man or I whatever. But like I just had to realize, like, bro, like, I got emotions too. I gotta go through this life shit, and then I gotta also become the person that people depend on, which is another topic that don't nobody discuss when it come to men. But, like, when you got that type of energy on you, man, and you got that type of situation, bro, you realize that, like, you gotta just take time for yourself mentally and just be like, I got this. I got this. Trust me. And I'm talking to you, woman or man, but mainly like a young man, bro. If you listening to this, you early teenagers, you getting out of school, you going into college, you out of college, you don't know if you're gonna do the workforce, you don't know if you're gonna have a career. Look, bro, take it from me. Take your time. The money will come, the career will come, the job opportunities will come. I'm not saying don't work. I'm not saying don't get your feet behind you, or just sit on your ass and don't do nothing. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is take your time, bro. Enjoy your life. Enjoy the time that you have while you trying to figure out your life. But don't stress yourself, because I promise you, once that first domino fall that you need, a lot of them just gonna start to fall with them. And you're gonna be like, damn, everything's starting to fall in place. But I'm telling you, When you young, you don't think they gonna fall in place. You don't even give yourself the grace of thinking like, "I got this. It's gonna be okay. Like, Imma figure this shit out." Sometimes, bro, you be so stuck on moving that you're not even focused on, like, the progress. You're not even counting the progress, the steps that you made, and none of that to that point. Take your time, slow down. And what's another one? And another comment we got before I give y'all mine before we get up out of here. My homeboy Michael, he said, "Don't be so hard on yourself. You still finding it out." And that's pretty much what I was just saying. Like you gotta give yourself grace, bro. Like I used to feel so much pressure, like trying to go to school and trying to be like I moved out my mama house. I told her like she didn't tell me to. She didn't make me. She didn't force me to. I just got to a certain point to where I felt like, look, my brother going out the house. I'm finna be to a certain age, and my mom ain't got no more kids behind me. She never really fully had her house to herself, her time to herself. And even though she didn't make me get out, and even though she didn't put me in that situation to get out of her house, something within me made me get out. Like I felt like I wasn't gonna learn to truly be a man and truly learn responsibility and learn how to pay rent and learn how to do all these other things until I got out my mama's house. And it worked. And I found my way, and I got had 2 jobs, and I was working multiple jobs, and I was doing good, and I had my shit situated, and I had 2 vehicles, I had a motorcycle, like I was doing good. But at the same time, like I didn't even have to rush myself like that. And at the same time, like while I was doing that, I was paying rent, I was trying to go to school, and I had a full-time job. So trying to do that, and then at the same time, I got a job that's trying to cut hours. So the money is starting to be funny. I'm feeling like I ain't got I'm feeling like I ain't got the money that I need, you know, to do things with or have some extra money on the side. So now I'm kind of feeling like I'm broke in some situations. And then I just got to a point where I was like, damn, bro, like I'm this shit harder than what I thought it was gonna be. But like I said, just have faith in yourself, just believe. All right. So with that being said, before we get out of here, I ain't told y'all what I would tell myself as a young teenager or going into your early 20s. The first thing I think I would tell myself, because I got about 3 of them. I know for a fact the first thing I probably would tell myself is, "You got it. You got this." Alright? Like I said, I used to worry so much, bruh, because I was, like, scared of failure or scared of not getting to a certain point in life and thinking I was adulthood was gonna be this way, and I ain't know what it was gonna be like, but I just used to worry and think I wasn't gonna get to a certain place in my journey. You got it. You have to believe, bro. You gotta have faith in yourself. You gotta trust your ability to know that like I ain't no lazy person. I ain't gonna just allow no shit to just knock me off course. So I got this. And then once you realize that, the rest will fall into place. And that's not even just about jobs and nothing like that. That's everything. You know, uh relationships, money, that vision that you got, that plan that you got, just stay put, stay steady, bro. Um, Something else I would tell myself definitely is, oh, these the last two. This is the last two that I definitely would have told myself. Um, one one of them was what did I had it in my mind. Um, One thing I definitely would tell myself is follow your first mind. Follow your first mind. There's been so many times, bruh, to where my intuition my knowledge, the first thing that came to my head was the right choice, and I didn't follow the right choice because I felt like I was scared, or I felt like I just overthought the situation. But sometimes, bro, your first choice or that first little, you know what I'm saying, little person that's on your shoulder that's telling you what you need to do and what you should be doing and what you should do, you don't follow it. And then you look back and you be like, bro, I knew what to do, or I was telling myself what to do, or I had it figured out, or I had the right decision in my mind and I ain't do it. Follow your first mind. That's what I would go back and tell myself. I would go back and tell old Marcus. I would tell my young Marcus, bruh, stick to your gut. Stick with your gut. Cause I was young, but I was smart, bro. Like I had a lot of I feel like I had a lot of wisdom for a young person. I had saw a lot, I had dealt with a lot, I had seen a lot, you know what I'm saying, family situations, all kind of shit. So like I knew like what not to do and what road not to go down. And I stayed on the course with that. I never really went backwards with that, but it was just some situations where I knew like, bro, I need to do this. I need to do that. And I was thinking it and it was running through my mind, but I just never followed it. And then I look back and I was like, bro, if I just would have did it. Like I remember being like thinking about getting into investments and getting into investments and putting money down. And then I look at some of the companies that started when I was thinking about that. And when I was thinking about spending money or putting money on certain shit, and I was thinking about it then, and I didn't do shit, and I didn't take no action on it. And I look back and I'm like, bruh, just what if you would have followed your first mind? You would have been in a better place. And the last one before we get up out of here, it's a real important one to me. And I learned this, and I'm not gonna lie to y'all. It took me all the way up until like my late 20s. I'm gonna say like 27, 26, 27 ish, somewhere in that area. And I'm still living it, so it's currently going on. But the main thing I would have told my young self, bro, is you don't need people. You don't need other people to push you or make you enjoy yourself. What do I mean by that? What do I mean by that? There is a lot of times, and I'm not sure if I'm the only person that feel like this, but there's a lot of times where I couldn't go nowhere unless I was with the homies. I didn't want to do nothing unless I had my niggas with me, right? I ain't wanna go nowhere if I ain't got the day ones with me, right? Oh, that movie coming out, I don't wanna go watch it. I don't wanna go just sit down the movie and watch it by myself. Like, you know what I'm saying? You get you start moving, you start doing stuff like, and you just be like, I gotta have somebody with me. And then you just realize like, no, the beauty in learning to be with yourself and learn yourself and stuff like that is realizing like, dog, I don't need y'all. I don't need you. And I don't have to have you in my corner or have nobody to push me to go enjoy myself or have fun with myself. And like I had to learn that the hard way. And I had to learn that sometimes through boredom or just not having nobody around. But sometimes you just realize like you really don't need other people to make you feel full, to make you feel solidified, to make you feel like you living a certain way because you got a group of people, a group of friends, or whatever. Like, bro, just sometimes it's good to just follow your own path, your own way. And if I would have known that in my early 20s or known that shit, even in my teens, because you lose friends, you get friends, you lose friends, you lose people, you don't talk to them as much, you don't keep up with folks as much. And then sometimes you just realize like people just fall out your life just due to just being like just not being solid. But it's like you just realize like had I not put so much weight into having a friendship or having a situation or having a you know what I'm saying, having a vibe with everybody or having a whatever, like, and just being like, I'm me. You feel what I'm saying? I can get dressed, I can go out, I can have fun by myself. I go watch a movie by myself. I go eat by myself. I go do whatever myself. Like once you get that type of like courage or you get that type of like feel about yourself, bro, you really don't care if nobody else agree with you, like you, deal with you, get what you get, feel what you feel, think how you think. You get to a point where you just on your own frequency. You get to just move how you want to move, and you don't give a damn who like it, who don't like it. And some cases that can rub people the wrong way, but a lot of times, bro, it's just all about like having that self awareness and strength. And like I said, like getting out there, cooking on the grill, just doing something by myself. I don't have to have nobody with me. I don't have to have nobody to come throw no meat on the grill. We have a sit down together, whatever. I don't have to throw a Super Bowl party. I can watch Super Bowl by myself. Get you know what I'm saying? Got my man cave popping. Get some nachos, do some rotel dip, have me and the wife. Like, but you just realize like you don't need everybody. You don't need a circle full of people. You don't need a group full of folks. Now I am very social. I'm social. I talk to people. I'm cool with folks. I talk to people. I have friends. I have a lot of people around me. Sometimes I can talk to a lot of people. I can go somewhere and I can make a new friend just like that. You feel what I'm saying? But like I said, learning to just be with myself, um, not really needing anybody else or not even needing that extra, you know, that's very important. That's something I definitely would have told myself. And if I would have followed my first mind, that would have been an earlier process that would have taken place. Because feeling like I and that may just come from like, you know, wanting to have more siblings or wanting to have more of a family connection with people in my family or wanting to have a father around or stuff like that. But you just realize like after so long, people gonna let you down. And when you learn to live without them or you learn to deal without them and be without them, then you know that's kind of what allows you to become your fullest self. That allows you to break into your full potential of becoming a young adult, young man, young woman, and you can truly start to live within your own energy. Right. So anyway, man, I hope that I was able to have a good conversation with y'all, have a good topic. I really enjoyed this one because so I put it out there and I had a few responses. And like I said, I appreciate my homegirl Candace for sending that video or just even putting the video out there. Like I said, I just seen it and I just was like, oh, she was responding to my question, but on her own page. But um I need more of these. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try to do more topics, try to get more people involved so I can have some more um back and forth and some more conversation topics like this. But yeah, man, I appreciate y'all for listening. Appreciate y'all for watching the video. If you're watching it, like if you are watching, subscribe. Like I said, um, if you do want to leave me some type of questions, or you want to leave some support, or you just want to have a random story, or you want to have a topic suggestion, you can hit me up at 90babytheory at AOL.com. Or you could just hit me up on TikTok at Playboy Darian 93 and we can go from there, man. And yeah. So I appreciate y'all for tuning in on this week episode. We're gonna come back even stronger with week 4. We're gonna try to, like I said, try to keep this thing going, try to stay consistent. So yeah. And that'll be all, man. Without further ado,
Back in the days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. But
y'all
some
have a
days
good
I
one.
sit and wish I was a kid again.
millennials spoil babies. A battle between generations.
What? Narcissistic, self-interested. Get the fuck out of here. Shit, come help me babysit these motherfuckers.
If you were born in the 80s or 90s, you may not be prepared for the real world.
Bruh, y'all finished or y'all done? Get the fuck out of here.
Hey, if you still here, hit that email up, man. Send me a question. Y'all have a good one.